Well, we're making progress here. I've almost got the plenum off, and it's not that hard to do, a little time consuming. What you want to do is get a light. I need a light. And work your way around the base of the plenum. Like there's a bolt right down there. There's one there. There's one. I can't see through my camera very good. There's one there. There's one back there that falls underneath this hose, the PCV hose. So you have to disconnect this up here. I did it with a 3/4 inch wrench. Wasn't in real tight. Neither was the vacuum tree. Both of them came out with 3/4 inch wrench. I took all my vacuum hoses off of the solenoids and everything up here. Take your PCV hose and just, if you push it that way, it'll let you get to that bolt. That far back one, not that one, but the one on farther back in here, you'll have to push that hose a little bit to get on it too. They're all 13 millimeter. The one, not that one, but that one, you'll want to use, I use impact sockets on all of them except for that one. So you may not want to use an impact socket. There's a 13 that I use on it, just because it has a thinner wall on it. You can't get a thick wall impact socket back in there. It won't work. At least I couldn't get it to work. But I didn't have any problem getting this on there. Now, for this hidden bolt that you may have heard about, the way I do it and the way I did it on my green truck, none of these bolts, you'll find that none of these bolts are on very tight. They are extremely loose. In fact, maybe I should have tried tightening them first, but I kind of like to paint this thing. But if you have 1/4 inch drive, long extension, which I have an adapter to go to 3/8, but with a long extension, and I don't think this is even the right size. I think it's a T10 is what I put on here. It was the biggest one that I could put a 1/4 inch drive on. If you got 1/4 inch, you can fit it down through. I can't see my camera. There's a slot. The hell is it? Right there. I need to get a light. But a 1/4 inch will fit down through there, and you can get to that bolt. Use my camera to that bolt down in there. I'm not sure if you can see that. There's a Torx head bolt in there. Let me get this on there and I'll show you. It'd be nice if you could actually see it going on. See if I can get some light on the subject here, and I don't know if I can do this to where you're going to be able to. There. Okay, so if you got a 1/4 inch drive, it'll fit down through there. Right down in, there it comes. Where's that bolt at? Ugh. And it's right there. I'm not sure if you can see it, but I don't know if you can see that or not. Hell, I can't hardly see it. Anyway, that's where it is. And if you get on there with a 1/4 inch, you can take that off there. All I've got left to do is just take all these bolts out. I mean, it took nothing to break them loose. All I have left to do is take those 6 bolts out, and that's the only Torx. The rest of them are 13, have a 13 millimeter head on them. All I have left to do is to take all those out, undo that bracket right there, and should come out of there. No, it won't. I gotta take the PCV bolts, or the EGR bolts out right here. Great. Didn't want to have to do that. Well, because I'm going to have to. Yeah, gotta take those off. I should have been soaking those the whole time. Damn it. Well, anyway, there's not a whole lot left to do, and that'll lift off of there. So I'm not going to put this on camera, but I wanted to show you how to get to that bolt, because a lot of people cannot find that thing. And when it's down in there like that, and if you've never done one before, they get a little bit of grime and crap on them, and you can't see it. It's got kind of a round domed head on it, and when they get crap on them, you just can't see the darn thing. But that's where it is, that's what it is, and that is how you get to it. So I'm gonna get this sucker off of here. Be back in a little bit. Okay, now we're ready to get this thing off. These bolts that held the throttle plate on up there were 3/8. Now to get that middle Torx out of there, I would suggest using a magnet as well, and hold it right down there by it. So when it gets loose, how can it be so tight now? No, I took all the other bolts out, so that's really the only thing holding it in, I believe. What am I looking for here? Anyway, I would suggest, this wrench isn't very good. I would suggest using a magnet down there to catch that bolt when it comes loose. This ratchet's a piece of shit. I don't know what happened to my other ratchet. Yeah, I'm getting your magnet. I mean, it can't fall very far, but you lose that sucker. Probably gonna have a hard time finding one anymore. Now, unless you go to a salvage yard and get one, that'd be a pain. And really, it's the only way to get it out of there, unless you've got little teeny tiny hands. This is what that Torx bolt looks like. See, it's got a domed head on it, so when that gets all dirty underneath there, you really can't see it very good. Okay, now the only thing holding that Plenum on is this one bolt over here. Actually, it's not holding it on either. There's nothing holding it on. Yeah, I got it. One bolt holding it on, so we'll 13 millimeter, where'd you go? Hello. I just had it. Yeah, good. And it just lifts off. Trying to get too much crap in there. That's all there is to it. see what we got here, because I can see something right away that's not right, I think. There's a rat's nest or something right there. I don't know what that is. The hell? Yeah, I'm not sure what that. That's exactly what it is. Damn mouse nest. Huh. Doesn't look too bad, really. Where's my flashlight? Oh, there's a light right there. Yeah, it doesn't look real clean, does it? But it is 21 years old. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that gasket out of there. Try not to knock too much stuff down into your intake. My green truck, I was extremely careful and shoving rags in everywhere, and I don't know, I'm just not gonna be quite as careful with this thing, but actually the gasket doesn't feel too bad. Yeah, there's the gasket. I don't see anything. See anything wrong with it. It's covered with oil. I don't think you should have oil in your intake. This truck hasn't burned any oil that I know of. I've changed the oil in it once and I've never had to add any to it, so I'm not sure what's going on there. I think it's oil. You know, it smells like oil. Yeah, I need a white rag. I don't have any white rags. On the gasket right there. As it comes off. Well, anyway, that's how you take that intake off, or the plenum off. So I'm gonna go up the house and take a break and come back down and clean that out, and go from there. Hey, you can see it on. Sure looks like oil. Huh. It doesn't blow any smoke or anything. It didn't. This is puzzling. Let me check the oil real quick, see where it's at. Oops. Yeah. Oh, it's good right here. Well, it's right at the full mark. Right at the full mark, and I've driven it to work every day this week, which is about, shit, I don't know, I've probably driven it. Yeah, with a little bit of other driving I've done, I bet I've driven it close to 500 miles since I changed. Well, let's see, did I change oil last weekend or? Shit, I don't know. I've driven it quite a ways. I haven't added any to it, so I don't know what's. I'm not sure what the deal is on that. Huh. I don't know. Paid $1,000 for the whole truck, so I'm not gonna bitch too much. Anyway, that's how that's done. I'm gonna go take a break. I'm tired. It is 20 till 2, and I'm gonna go up the house. Might catch me a nap or something. I don't know. And then come back down here and start cleaning that. Where'd it go? It disappeared. Start cleaning that up a little bit. I'm just going to clean it up, scuff it up, paint it, and stick her back on there. I don't know, I'm not sure what the EGR port looks like. I lose more flash. I can have a flashlight in my hand. I think I'll lose the damn thing. It's a little gunky, but not horrible. The one on my green truck, when I took it off, I let it soak overnight in a big tub of Dawn dish soap, and then I used this Purple Power. That's pretty good stuff. In fact, I may spray this down with that before I go to the house. I like that stuff. It's cheap. It's I like it. It works really good. You can buy it. Any auto parts store has it. I just started using it here recently. Somebody actually, when I was doing my green truck, when I was doing this to it, they suggested using that on the Plenum actually. So I wonder what the inside of this thing looks like. I can get it flipped over without dropping it with one hand. Rather not drop it. And I need a flashlight again. Yeah, that's pretty. That's pretty dirty. Yeah, that's really dirty. They're all pretty consistent, but that's pretty dirty. Yeah, well, that's the way it is. Anyway, I'm gonna take a break, go up to the house. I think I will probably stick some rags in those. And place them over the top of it. And I'll be back in just a little bit. Or if I fall asleep, it'll be morning, but I'll be back here to you instantaneously. Okay, boys and girls, it's morning. Went in and fell asleep. Anyway, this sucker's been sitting down here, and it's had some throttle body cleaner in it all night. Not clear full. I wish I could have had it clear full, but anyway, let's take a look inside of it. Probably dump out what's in there and then take some of that Purple Power and scrub away on her. Actually, it's not real bad. Anyway, I use a brush like that. That's what I used on my other, when I did my green truck, and that's a, I don't know what you call that, some kind of a toilet brush. Bought it at Walmart in their toilet to brush section. And it works really good because you can shove the whole thing down each one of these, and go all the way through it. I think, if I remember right, I think you can, this is just just wire, and I think you can bend it in half, double it up, and just cram it down through there. I'm just going to scrub away on it and get it kind of sort of good, and call it good. But that's what I'm going to do. So I think I'm going to take it, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to take it out. I take it out there in the driveway and do it out there so I can dump that stuff out and scrub away and so on and so forth. It's so much fun. So anyway, kind of a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it right. Anyway, that's what I'm going to do. Probably the next time I bring you in, I'll have it set up for painting. So see you in a few. Alright, so here we are. It's the next day on doing this Plenum. Very hot day here in central Iowa, and I had some things today I had to do. So I didn't get a whole lot done. Sun's starting to go down. It's 7 o'clock or so. What we're going to do right now, I got the Plenum cleaned off along with the throttle body, and I still got a little bit of cleaning to do. I'm going to do some wire wheeling on it, and then I need to tape off all the ports, for the throttle body in here. Just tape everything off that I don't want to get painted. I'm thinking somebody messed with this adjusting screw. I think I showed that last night, but we'll find out when I get her put back on the truck. The other thing I was talking about last night was remember when I took the plenum off and there was oil on the gasket and oil down in here, on top of here and so forth. And I did some reading on that. I looked it up, and that really is very common and not really anything to worry about. A lot of it comes from one, I believe, I might be wrong on this, if you have a vacuum leak. Two, the PCV valve, if it hasn't been functioning right or whatnot, that can cause oil to get into your intake plenum. And my PCV comes up right here and feeds into the air hose, which then goes this way right into the plenum. Well, I just replaced the PCV valve, which is right there, and I just replaced that the other night. To be honest, I don't know if the other one's working or not. I had a hell of a time getting that out of there with the plenum on. Not that it can't be done, I've done it many times, but it was really stuck. I would bet anything, I don't know what I did with it. I wish it's gotta be around here somewhere. But I would bet anything that was the original PCV valve. And what the heck did I do with the thing? I would bet it was original and maybe it wasn't functioning right, and that's probably why there was some oil in there. But at any rate, it doesn't sound like it's anything to be worried about. I'm not consuming any oil to speak of. I haven't had this truck that long, but it doesn't blow any smoke. It doesn't use any oil that I'm aware of. And I've given it an oil change, and I've driven it 500 or 600 miles since then, and it's still on the full mark. So I'm not going to worry about it. And even if there's nothing I can do, even if it is consuming oil, which I don't think it is, like I said last night, I paid $1,000 for the whole truck, so nothing I'm going to do with that at this point. But I don't think it's anything to worry about, and I'm not going to worry about it. Hopefully when I get all this done, it will take care of the high idle issue, being that there wasn't any, the check engine light wasn't being tripped. I don't think there's any sensors that were reading wrong. And that plenum, well, I tell you, a couple of those bolts were really, really loose, so it wouldn't have surprised me at all if there was a vacuum leak there. And there's oil, a little bit of oil left on top of that gasket, so that leads me to believe if fluid can get up on top of the gasket, air certainly could. So I don't know, we'll find out later on tonight when I get this all painted up and back on the truck. But right now I'm going to get busy cleaning it up a little bit, taping off all the ports and everything, and probably shooting some primer on it. I don't remember what I had it standing on. Oh, I didn't have that top on that bench last time, and I had a board set up that I painted it on. I'd like to paint it over here on the bench somehow. I'm going to rig something up where I can paint it at a better level than where it is over there. But anyway, I'm going to get busy doing that, and I will bring you back in just a few minutes. Well, we're coming right along here. Actually, not going real fast on this. I like that blue. This kind of look, it's gonna be pretty when it's all done. what I've done is I've painted the plenum and the throttle body Ford blue, which I think that's old Ford blue. There's old Ford blue, new Ford blue, and some other Ford blue. Anyway, it's a Ford blue of some type. And actually, on this raised part in the casting right here, there's actually a piece of tape over that, and there's going to be a black stripe in the center of that. And then when I'm all done with this, I'm going to sand off the top of the letters, so they're going to be aluminum, so silver, and then I'm going to clear coat the whole thing, and it'll be nice and glossy, shiny. Probably going to put, I don't know what I've got. I think I've got 2 coats on right now. Probably going to put at least 1 more coat, probably a couple more, maybe 3 more coats on, and then a couple coats of clear. Well, actually 2 or 3 more coats of blue, and then sanding the lettering off, pull the tape off, and then clear. And then let it dry, and she'll be ready to go back on the truck. So the paint I'm using, just in case you're wondering, is Duplicolor, just engine paint. Got this from let's see, O'Reilly's. Cap color is supposed to be the color of the paint. I don't know if it quite matches or not, but anyway, I got plenty. I got 2 cans of that, and I've only used 1 can so far. And I've got I mean, I could probably quit now and it'd be okay. I've got the throttle body and the plenum and the vacuum tree. The vacuum tree, I did the end of it out here in black, and then the stem of it I'm doing in blue. And I probably got, I don't know, probably not a 1/4 can left. I think 1/8 of a can left, something like that. So had plenty of paint. So really, probably if you're going to do this, I'd get probably 2 cans of color, 1 can of primer, 2 cans of color, and 1 can of clear would probably be enough. That's all I bought was 1 can, but I think I've got another can up here. I've got that. Not a whole lot in that one. I thought I had a full can up here. Well, maybe not. Thought I did. No. I think this is clear. That's clear full. Not sure what the difference is. Different label or something. I don't know. Anyway, so that's where I'm at. I think that looks pretty sharp. I'm kind of glad I'm doing this in blue instead of black on this one. Just something different, especially if I think that I might use that color or awful close to that color in painting the truck come spring. Just haven't decided for sure what I'm going to do with that, or if I want to even do a 2-tone. But I think that's a nice color blue. So anyway, that's where I'm at, and it's about time to shoot another coat on there. So I'm going to let you go, and I'll probably bring you back in when I'm after I get done sanding the paint off the lettering, or maybe just before or something, I don't know, or maybe during. Anyway, I'll bring you back in here in just a few. Hey boys and girls, we're back at it again. It's gonna look like I haven't done much, and well, I have actually. It's just taken a long time. Very hot. It's about, hell time is it? I think it's going on 11 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. Tomorrow is Labor Day, so we got tomorrow off. We're supposed to have chance of some, once again, severe weather later on tonight, and up to 5 inches of rain between now and tomorrow. It's starting to pick up, but there's nothing developing yet except some later. Beans are sure changing color. Another couple of weeks we'll probably be combining beans. But anyway, back to truck stuff. I got on the Flareside, I've got the Plenum and the throttle body all painted up. Looks good, looks sharp. It's I got the clear coat on it. One thing I ran into with the clear coat, and I don't think it's just the Duplicolor clear coat either that I was using. I ran into a problem. Remember I had that black stripe down, can't see my camera what I'm looking at. You know, along here I had that black. Well, what happened was, oh, it was probably 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. I was down here and I was painting that, and I went to put the clear coat on, and it got all foggy on me. Well, after doing some research on the topic, I discovered that if it's really humid, like it is, I think if I just jumped into the air, I might be able to go swimming. It's really humid. That when it's really humid out, it may do that just because of the humidity in the air. I mean, there were places that it was almost white. It was really, really bad. And in fact, if you look on here, you might be able to see what I was talking about. This may have cleared up by now. And it did. If I would have just left it, I think it would have, I've got it. This thing has caused me more trouble with paint chipping off. I'm going to put a wrench on that anyway, so it's going to get marred up. But anyway, it was really, really foggy looking, cloudy, just white, like a white fog over the entire thing. And I didn't know what had happened. So I scuffed it up again with a red Scotch-Brite and repainted the whole thing blue. I just decided not to have that black stripe. I don't know. It looked okay, but the more I looked at it, the more it just, I don't know. I didn't care for it all that much. It didn't really bother me one way or the other. So anyway, and I repainted it blue, and let's see, what did I do? I repainted it blue, and then I put on a really, really, really light coat of the clear coat, and which is this stuff right here. This is actually, well, this is Duplicolor, and then I think they must have changed the can because I had this. But anyway, and I did a couple test places. One of them I did on this old toolbox over here. Well, on 2 of these toolboxes. One was this one here, and I loaded it up really heavy on this side, so it was all whitish looking, and that's how it dried. It dried out clear eventually. It took a while, but it did. And then on this one down here, I painted it blue. And over here on this side, I put really, well, the blue isn't real consistent either, but I really didn't give a shit. I was just trying to, it was more on the clear than anything. And I put really light clear over here, and then over here I really layered the clear coat on. I mean, it was, in fact, you can see right here where it was pooling up. And this was just white. I mean, it looked like milk. And eventually, over time, it dried out clear. So if you put your clear on, if you spray your clear on and it gets all cloudy on you, don't worry, it will, it should come out of it. Now on the throttle body, there are a couple spots, well, there was anyway, that didn't come completely out of it. Well, yeah, they did. It's just weird. And I guess it's just from the humidity in the air. But, I'll be darned. Anyway. So if that happens to you, don't worry about it. It's just due to humidity, and it will come out of it. Now I watched some videos on YouTube, and yes, I take full advantage of YouTube myself, even though I have my own YouTube channel. I learn a lot off of YouTube. And there was a guy on there showing how to get the cloudiness out of the clear coat, and he was, in fact, he was using the Duplicolor or Krylon. Doesn't make any difference. And it looked exactly like the problem I had, and he was talking about the humidity and so on and so forth. And he took a, it was a Harbor Freight heat gun, and he just he held it up to it and just went over it, just, you know, just back and forth, back and forth. It was actually on some kind of cabinet or a guitar case, something, and he didn't want the glue underneath of it to get to work loose, so it couldn't have been too hot, but he kept just going back and forth, back and forth. He didn't just hold it on one spot, and you could just watch it disappear. It was drying it out. I don't know if the heat must have had something to do with it blowing hot, dry air, and the hot, dry air, and just the hot, dry air, I guess, and you could just watch the cloudiness disappear. It was really quite amazing. So I wasted some time there because I came down here about 4 o'clock in the morning to start putting that thing back on, and I looked at it and I was like, what the fuck? Well, I probably could have just gone ahead and put it on and it would have worked itself out. If either from just sitting there, probably, and if not, probably the first time I ran the engine, it would have settled out. So that is what is up with that, if that happens to you. And it is really, really humid. Right now it's really humid. Last night it was really humid. Yesterday it was really humid. I mean, it's horribly humid. I don't really want to be down here doing this right now, and I probably wouldn't be. I'd probably wait till tonight, except I want to get my green truck inside here, and I can move this truck either out there where my green one is or up to the garage, because my wife's gone here for a couple of days. But I'd like to get it in here. So anyway, I am going to get busy mounting this sucker back up, and what I have to do is come in here. First I've got to get these towels out of the way without dropping too much crap in the intake. None if possible, which shouldn't. Probably going to take a red Scotch-Brite or something and clean that surface off real good. There's hardly anything on it. Need to kind of maybe, what am I going to do with that hose? I need to get it kind of strapped up out of the way. It's in the way. I also want to go over it and check it for any leaks that there might be in that PCV hose. I don't think there's any, but I want to go over it real good and make sure while I've got the plenum off and able to access all that stuff back there. Yeah, so that's where I'm sitting. So once I get that cleaned up, I'll put the gasket on, put the plenum on. I got the 6 bolts that go in it, and it should be good to go after that. It really shouldn't take very long. I've said that before. What else was I going to say? There was something else I was going to say. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to get busy doing that, and when I get further along here, I'll bring you back and show you the progress. Okay, so I pretty much got the plenum back on the truck now. I'm going to step out here and notice it started to cloud up a little bit. Yeah. Man, it's humid. It is hot and humid. I bet we get some nasty storms. Somebody's going to get some nasty storms tonight. Nasty. It's going to be coming from that direction up there. But anyway, as I was saying, I've pretty much got the plenum back on the truck. Except, well, as you can see, because it's stunning, absolutely beautiful. But all I can really tell you is when you set the plenum back on there, 2 people might help. I don't know. It's just kind of an awkward piece to put in there. It's not real heavy or anything, and the gasket wants to kind of move around on you every now and then. But just be patient. If you got to take it back off, take it back off and just start over again. I didn't have to, but of course the back bolt back in that corner, of course, the gasket was kicked over that way, just a smidge, and I could not get that thing to move back over. Well, I reached my hand back behind there and I could just barely touch the gasket with the tip of my finger. And so I could pick up on the plenum just enough to slide that gasket over, and then I dropped the bolt down in there, but it took a little while. Anyway, I'm down to putting this little sucker back in, and let's see, I'm going to show you how I do that. I'm going to put you up here on the tripod, I think. Okay. Now, at least the way I did it on my other track, I've got a flashlight down in there that's kind of shining on where this goes. And hello. Move that up a little bit. There, let's see if that's better. God, it's sticky. And the way I did this before, anyway, hold on. The way I did it before, this actually does fit, at least this one it does. Yeah, fits good enough. And this is a, I don't remember what I said it was, T10? No, T30. And the way I did this on my green truck, I believe, shit, now I can't remember if I held it in there with a magnet or if I taped it on the, I thought I taped it on the end of this, but maybe I tried that and it didn't work. That should work. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tape this sucker on there. This is the one bolt you do not want to lose. No, sir. No, straight down. Or maybe I know what happened. I think before when I did this, I taped it on there and then I got it down in there and pulled my Torx bit off. Aha. Oh, could be. So let's not tape it so good, eh? I'm so sweaty, I don't think anything's gonna stick. No, it's not gonna work. Plan B would be to insert said bolt screw thing like that with a magnet. I think this will work. And use this, line it up with the hood, which I know you can't see, but that's what I'm doing. Trust me. Oh, bitch. Maybe not such a strong magnet. There. And the hole of that. And drop this sucker down through the middle without scratching your new paint. Or try not to, I can't see the damn slot. Well, I can see everything, it's not turning the right way. Gosh, there we go. Come on, baby. Come on, you know you want it. Oh, this whole darn magnet. God. Now I'm caught up in fuel round. Small magnet. Son of a bitch. There. Not going in straight. There we go. Fell down in the hole anyway. I don't remember what you're supposed to torque these to. I think it's like 18 or 20 foot-pounds, something like that. It's not very much. So don't go cranking down on them like some of you guys do. If you're like me, I used to just load down on stuff and end up stripping everything out. Anyway, I don't know if you can see it down in there. Probably not. Not really anything to see, but there's that bolt in the bit. I don't know if you can see that or not. And then one more bolt out here. You gotta tighten down. That's what holds it all on. So I gotta look up the torque specs, and I don't know if they'll give me a torque sequence or not. And then tighten that all down. And then I'm getting close. After that, then put this sucker back on up here, and throttle body, and so on and so forth. So getting there, hook all the vacuum lines up. Hopefully when I start this thing up, it won't or it'll idle down. I don't know what's causing that. I know this port right here on the EGR valve, I didn't even notice it till I was headed over on the bench after I had done painting it. It wasn't plugged, but it did have a lot of crap in it. So I cleaned it out pretty good. I don't know, maybe things will work now. I hope so, but I'm gonna get busy tightening this thing up. I like to get this done before the storm hits. I won't get my other truck in here, so I'll be back shortly. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We're idling at about 800 or somewhere in there. Kind of goes up and down a little. I made it match my other truck, the green truck. And I don't think it was a vacuum leak. You know how I said I thought somebody fucked with that screw? I turned that screw down and it's running perfect right now. So I don't know what other effect that screw can have, but right now it's running good. Move shit out of the way. I ran over my little table here. So anyway, there she is. I could have been done on Friday if I just would have turned that damn screw, but it looks pretty anyway. Anyway, everywhere I read they said don't fuck with that screw, don't touch it. It's set from the factory, don't mess with it. So I didn't mess with it. Well, got to looking at it and it looked like somebody else had messed with it before. So I decided, after doing everything I just did, I decided I was going to mess with it. So I messed with it, and she's idling good. She's sitting there. It's been running here probably for a good 15 minutes or so. So I don't. I'm gonna go take it for a drive and see what happens. Anyway, well, that was exciting. Anyway, please subscribe. Come back for more. We've got all kinds of shit we're gonna do yet. Anyway, we'll see you next time. Bye bye.